Menteri Rangba kejela Conrad sangma hane kesngi habai keren berkinong thok khubor haufes traikam jugu ulaong bak sorkar jela kan sasim ya karai la kan thung ne em da kejing doket balai lot halor kejing hiar thama ki pajba ya ka office traikam jog chief minister hatura hadin bal yo pedang ya ka kaiphod na katnat pulit Menteri Rangba ulaong ru balada don kam habakmi ya kejing long jingman ada kiseng bhalang ki ong bakini ki breu bapun kelmar kim dei ki breu jongki kin dei ki eipat lempep kahap bandon karukom trekam banlap bakini ki breu ki dei ki ei bat ka ei ki jingtmu jongki namar kata ya mentahi kapapau bakadon ke ei re ka ei halendet bat ka jerwit jerwat bha kabadon kam manhap doket rai kane ka khep hi ulong ai bagi pulit kin le ka kamram bat kin sa sim kum no bikin jam sakman nalor ka niu menteri rangba ulapun pau ba ka jingkem ya palat sop hongut ki breu ka dei ka balapun song nongrim lamba ki video jong jing thombor ki pajba
fasting there in another location, and they had insisted that the chief minister should come to the spot where they were fasting, and hence I genuinely wanting to understand their concerns and genuinely wanting to meet them and having no as such any issues with going ahead with whatever would help in finding a way forward. I agreed to go there, and I went with a very open mind. I went with a very positive mind, and I went ahead with a very concern for the issue. So that is what my thought process was. And the initial inputs that came in from my security agencies and the police was that it cannot be in the venue itself. It is not going to be safe, but we can have it in the official CM office. Secretariat is there, where I have a room, which happens to be just next to the place where they were having the fasting. And hence the communication was made to the NGOs who were fasting that that location can be suitable. And accordingly they agreed, which as I said was right where they were, but it would be at least a place where we would have a room to sit in. And so basically when we had that sitting, we discussed many issues, and they were told that you can bring in whoever from your organizations and your groups and your team, whoever you want to bring in, you can bring them in. And they selected their own people, and those selected people then came into the meeting. And in the meeting we discussed many concerns that they had, and they went beyond the concerns that were mentioned earlier by them regarding the backlog and their concerns regarding the winter capital. And apart from that, also many other subjects came out, and discussion was going in a very positive manner. And when that happened, then we could then slowly after about close to an hour and a half, we could hear a bit of sloganing that started. And then we continued to discuss, and in the meantime I had asked the SP and the administration just to check. And I also mentioned to the NGOs that this kindly ensure that your people are peaceful and controlled. And then after a few minutes, when the snoggering went on a bit more louder, I then told the groups that look, I think you have to go and tell them outside. Maybe they're waiting for some kind of a communication or message from you. So kindly go outside, and you can then tell them to be silent and be peaceful, and that you will come and brief them. And when the people who went out from the meeting, when they came back to the room, they then told me that, or not just me, they told the entire room that was there, that included the other members from the other groups who were with them, and also the SP and the DC and other officials who were sitting there, that they don't recognize most of the people who are outside, and that these members who are standing outside are not part of their organization, and in fact, some of them, their eyes are like blood, red blood. They look intoxicated, and then they said that we don't know who these people are, most of them. So that's when we could figure out that there is something that's more complicated than what initially was thought, and that it seemed like there were organizations or people or individuals or groups who had come in there who were not part of the actual initial movement or whatever the fasting that was taking place. And in fact, the reports that we had received was initially that about 10 to 15 to maximum 20 people in a day used to be there. Once in a while, some group used to come, and then, but on an average, there was not a very large number that used to sit there during the fasting time. So when the NGOs came in and told us that these people who are outside are not part of their group and they don't know them, that's when we could understand that, as I said, there are other elements part of this. Now, I want to be very clear in my standing here, is that we are very clear that anybody who will be arrested or anybody who will be picked up or any case that will be filed will be purely on the basis of evidence. What happened was not correct. And when we had gone with a very, very positive intention and we had gone with the concerns of the people, and I had no reason to agree to their request of going to the location. I could have easily stuck to my stand that no, they should come to Circuit House, which is what the security agencies wanted me to do. But I said no, I am concerned and I am genuinely wanting to resolve this. And I have no ego problem or anything where it looks bad for me to go. I'll go if it helps the cause. I have no problem in going. And I went, as I said, with a very, very positive and a very clean thought that I'll be able to talk to them and will be able to find a way forward. As I said, so now when all of this happened, this attack that took place, from all the statements that we could make out while we were in the room, that there were external agencies or organizations or groups or individuals who were not connected with this came in. And hence, there were indications, and it just so happened that a lot of these people who were then shouting outside, especially and instigating, happened to be from certain political parties who were past candidates of certain political parties, and hence from that angle, that link was there. But I want to make it very clear, we are not going by political parties, or we're not even trying to say that this is this political party, that political party. All we are saying is that everything will be based on evidence. No matter what party an individual may belong to, or what organization may belong to, or whatever background the person may be from, if the person, based on proof and evidence, was involved in instigating and was involved in any way in the incident that time, will be, action will be taken against those individuals. So it is not political or party, but it is purely on the basis of evidence.
So prior to your visit to Tura, when you were going to...
Frank, as I said, we had gone there with a very positive intention, number one. The initial gatherings in the last 2 weeks when they were doing the fasting, the gathering was limited to on an average 10 to 15 people, and hence it was more on looking at this situation that that section 144 was not felt at that point in time by the administration, but of course the administration will be in a better position to comment on it. But as I said, in the initial part, the people who were involved, and the numbers were very small, and though we had some intel about, as I said, that that there could be some pressure in that area if we go. Two things, as I said. Number one, I was going with a very, very clear mind that I would like to resolve it. and find a way forward. And so were the NGOs, because when they came in, they discussed with me for long, and they even went out and they said even they were surprised to see the kind of people, because they said that we don't even know who these people are. These are exact words I'm telling you, which they said. They said we don't know, and then they came out with a statement also later on, in a video also, as well as on Facebook, where they apologized, saying that the talks and discussions were going on very well with the Chief Minister, and we were happy and we were finding a way forward, and then suddenly this thing happened. So it was to a large extent unexpected that somebody would go to that extent of doing this kind of an attack, and that too on Chief Minister and the ministers who were inside. So it was not expected that it would go. We expected some kind of aggression, but we thought that we'll be able to talk to them. And as I said, for me, the main purpose was to find a way forward, and I was going with good intentions. But as I said, yes, it didn't turn out the way we expected it. But the police after that were able to control the situation once this entire thing broke out, and within 2 hours, that too, please remember, without using any excessive force, which I was very, very, very particular about from the beginning. I told the SP and others that we will not use excessive force. We're not going to use weapons. We'll control the crowd, use the minimum force required, which is whatever tear gas, or at the most lathi can be used, but no weapons that will be in any way lethal cannot be used. I was very particular, and with that limited option, the police was able to control things, and in a matter of 2-3 hours, we were more or less in a controlled situation. And beyond that, then after that, the NGOs were still inside. I just want to also share with you that all the NGO leaders who were there, they could not leave. They were concerned, they were worried. They themselves said, "Sir, we cannot leave." And they asked for security. And at the end, we provided them escort to go. And I waited there, and even the injured who were there, the police, which again is a very, very unfortunate thing, and I condemn this. It's not about my being there as Chief Minister, but what happened to the armed forces, what happened to the police, who were really there to do their duty and protect, had to go through all of that, and that is really something that I was very, very unhappy about. And I was there when they were being stone pelted and when they got hurt. And what upset me even more was that when the ambulance was going to drop them to the hospital, even that ambulance was attacked. And we know as individuals that even in war time, if ambulance is going, we don't never attack an ambulance. We let that ambulance go. So it was very, very sad to see the kind of thing. And that ambulance could have been anybody. It could have been an old person in the ambulance. It could have been a mother in the ambulance. It could have been a small child in the ambulance. So, it was very unfortunate that it went to that extent, and you could see the kind of, intention that they came with was very wrong. So that's what it was.